This is called Abdus-salaam. Unless you like that, get to writing. Okay? And write your notes and put your things down in order so that we can follow you. Okay? All right, capiche? So, I want to review your notes and be able to say, yes, this person follows us. One of my teachers, Dr. Loh, used to do this to us. When we studied Usul al-Fiqh, he used to just snatch out notebooks, flip through it, look through. Oh, what happened? You know, you think you're going to remember, but you don't. Put the note there. It helps. All right. Distant students will be asked, inshallah, to send in their notebooks for review. Because for those people on the internet who want to study and they can't come to the Boogie Down and get to these classes, then send us your notebooks and we'll deal with that on a one-on-one basis, inshallah. Okay, go on, bro. Classroom conduct, very important. Since we're in the masjid, alhamdulillah, istami'u ya akhawat. Listen to this right here, young ladies. This is especially for what y'all are just doing right now. Classroom conduct. No talking, no eating, no gum chewing, no sleeping or otherwise socializing once the teacher is standing in front of the classroom. No one asks anyone else a question. Sheikh Muhammad Salim used to say to the other person who answered the question, why don't you go make your own class? He used to tell him, why don't you go make your own campsite, actually. You know, go make your own campsite and see how many people come. You know, and want to hear. Otherwise, don't ignore the person if they start talking to you. This is serious business learning. Serious business. And it distracts me because I want to answer the question and I don't want to lose my train of thought. So ask me any question that you have. It's not petty. It's not irrelevant. Ask. Someone said something, I think it was to Imam Shafi again, I think Ahmed ibn Hanbal and someone else, they were saying something to Imam Shafi about a stupid question, and Imam Shafi said, the only stupid thing is to pretend that you know something that you didn't really understand with regards to lessons. Meaning there's no stupid question, but the stupid thing is to pretend that you understood an issue when you really didn't understand it. So let's go on and say, the teacher reserves the right to, okay, the teacher reserves the right, okay, drinking is allowed, okay? Drinking is allowed. No eating, but drinking is allowed. The teacher reserves the right to return salams on behalf of the whole class. The students are asked to focus on their lessons. This is very important also. People come in the masjid, they say, Salaam alaikum. Everybody, mind your business. Your business is studying. I'll give the salams back. That's allowed. That's what I want to do. Students can get up and leave without permission from the teacher. Ma'ruf. Questions. Students can yell out any question they have without waiting to be recognized. You may be told to hold on, but your question, inshallah, will be addressed. Questions will be entertained at any time during the class or while the teacher is inside the masjid. Okay? Ideas and comments. In general, your ideas, comments, suggestions, and challenges are welcome. However, your discretion in these matters is expected. Some people want to argue and debate. So even on the internet, people want to argue and debate about things we don't have time to deal with them, and they're wrong a lot of the times also. So it wastes time. And it's like, you'll get there when you get there. Just take time. We're going to get you there. Just take time. So have some discretion in the questions. You are encouraged to take advantage of the teacher's presence. You may also contact the administration via email with additional questions and comments. That is Abdul Hakim and Makeen. You call them on the internet. They're always ready to answer you. Okay? Tentative schedule. Each class will last approximately 1 hour. Respectfully submitted, Abu Toba. Go on down. I'm going, Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. An introduction to the sciences of Arabic. While ago, open up your papers to the introduction to the sciences of Arabic. While ago, I gave you guys let me start again. There's a starting point and there's a finishing point. The starting point with Arabic, if we don't want to leave any rock unturned, is to say, what is Arabic? After we understand what Arabic and language is, and Arabic language is, and to understand that what has preserved the Arabic language. Everybody should know this is the Quran and the Hadith, and the poetry of Jahiliyyah, okay? The Thiqatul Arab, you know, the educated amongst the Arabs, they have preserved this language. After that, the next thing to know is what? What's the next part of the lesson? The lesson is ingrained, the outline is ingrained in your head. What's next? That the Arabic sciences are how many? 13 in order, right? So here it is, we're going to learn what the 13 sciences are because we should be familiar with that. So it says, this is a poem, this is a translation of a poem that was written by Fairuz Ubadi in the introduction of his famous dictionary, Al-Qamus Al-Muhit. Al-Qamus Al-Muhit was a specialized dictionary that was written with the ends of the words looked up, not the beginnings of the words. You know, in English, you look up the first letter of the word. In Al-Qamus al-Muhit, you look at the last letter of the word first to find out the word. Why is that? Because this book was written for poets. This book was written for poets. Why? Because poets need every word in the Arabic language. Because as you'll see, when you study poetry, the last letter of the word of the line is what makes it rhyme. So you need to know a word that has the meaning that you want with the last letter that you need. So he composed a whole dictionary. It's called the Ocean, okay, of words. Just when you look them up with the last letter. Very strong. Go back down. Go back down. I'm not finished with that. In the introduction, it's a very, very lengthy book. It's in 2 volumes. It's studied in Mauritania. Go back up a little bit. In the beginning of it, he said, حِفْظُ اللُّغَاتِ عَلَيْنَا فَرْضٌ كَحِفْظِ الصَّلَاةِ فَلَيْسَ يُحْفَظُ دِينٌ إِلَّا بِحِفْظِ اللُّغَاتِ, which basically means preserving this language upon us is fardun, just like salat. Because you can't protect this here deen without you learning lughat. That's how I translated that poem. But he said, Hifdhul lughat alayna. Preserving the language alayna is upon us, fardun. He's saying the ruling that the people of the past, the Salaf used to have with regards to learning the Arabic language. And when we say learning, we don't mean As-salamu alaykum wa alaykum salam, kayfa halak, alhamdulillah, ma smuk, ismi fulan. That's not what we mean. We mean understanding it dabtan, inside and out. Dakhiliya wa batiniya. Inside and out. They used to consider it fard on some certain people. Why? Just like preserving the salah. Why? Because you cannot preserve this deen without having the language preserved. Okay? So we got to speed up. So he says that. Go on. Arabic. Here goes the poem. It says Arabic. The sciences of Arabic are 13 arts of rhetoric. Start off with sarf, the nahwu do, al-rasmu plus al-insha'u. Balagha, break it down in 3. Bayan, badi'u, ma'ani. Then qardu, shir or poetry. Arudu mixed with qawafi. Khataba brings the art of speech, and history is what they teach. If texts of old mutun you seize, then know you've gathered all the keys. And we'll break it down right quick. There was a mistake. It said khitaba, and then there was some other word there, and it's been changed because the word is khataba, not khitaba. And as we'll get to that. And history is what they teach. So, breaking it down, the sciences of Arabic are 13 arts of rhetoric. You can leave the poem away. You're expected to memorize. I told you guys to memorize this before. You should have memorized it. Go up. Now it says rhetoric. Rhetoric has been defined as the art of speaking or writing effectively. The principles and rules of composition formulated by critics of ancient times. Skill in the effective use of speech, and nowadays it usually means speech that is insincere and or unnecessarily grandiloquent. Okay, grandiloquent means, pompous, he's talking all this big talk and you don't need to use those big words, okay? As a terminology, rhetoric refers to the principles and rules of speaking and writing extracted from the Quran, the authentic hadith, and the classical writings of the Arabs of old. Similar to what we mean is what the word Arabic and how the language has been preserved. So, it must be understood that a word can only be found in 1 or 2 conditions. Very important point. Highlight that. Make it clear that at this point, after we understand that there are 13 signs, we go to the next point, which is that a word can only be found in 1 or 2 situations, whether it's by itself or it's in a sentence. Since that's the case, therefore, begin your study of Arabic with what goes next. Sarf. What is sarf? Sarf, or etymology, is as it is the science through which we study a word by itself before it's been entered into a sentence. That's the definition of sarf. Going down. Then you should study nahwu. Nahwu, or grammar, as it is the science through which we study the classes of words, their inflections, their functions, and how they relate in a sentence. Pay attention to the language. It says the classes of words, meaning the types of words, their inflections, how they change, their functions, what their jobs are, and how they relate to each other in a particular sentence. It is a system of rules that define what is to be preferred and what is to be avoided in the formulation of a sentence. That is what grammar is. That is what nahwu teaches you. Okay? Then after studying nahwu, sarf and nahwu, follow them up with al-rasmi or al-imla. Imla, as they are the nomenclature and rules of dictation. What is dictation? Dictation is literally to when you hear a word, you can see it.